I'm Lynn Greenberg. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pivt. Pivt was actually started out of my own experience. I relocated to London about 2 months after graduating from college to work for Bloomberg. And I landed there and I faced the issue that essentially all people do when moving to a new and unfamiliar place, which is, how do you make your new city feel like home? I didn't know anyone there, and I wanted information on my city from people I trusted. I didn't know where to live. I didn't know which bank to join. I didn't know where to take my mom for dinner when she came to visit. And these weren't things I wanted to rely on a Google or a TripAdvisor for. No joke. The way I found out, where I should live is I saw the movie Notting Hill, and that's where I ended up living. It would have really been helpful to have someone kind of leading the way. And then, of course, the second piece of the puzzle is I was starting a new job, and I didn't have time to recreate my network from scratch. And as anyone that moves knows, it's friends you need the most when you're adjusting to a new and unfamiliar place. So I spoke to other of my colleagues at Bloomberg, London being the international hub, found that it was actually a much bigger problem than just myself. So initially, we founded Pivt for people moving and traveling to help acclimate in their new city socially. We were on the App Store and Google Play for a couple of months when we started getting approached by corporations. And they said, we came across your platform, we like what you're doing, it's actually something we're struggling with internally with our business travelers and relocated employees. Is this something you'd be interested in building for businesses? So my partner and I went back to the drawing board, found that actually the average company spends about $90,000 relocating a single employee. Obviously a lot more if it's an executive or if they're relocating with a family. And because there's no social component helping these people acclimate, about a third of those assignees quit their job within a year or move back home because of social reasons. When we discovered that, we refactored our app to fit a B2B model, and we've been working with corporations and relocation companies since. We help relocated employees wherever they are make their new city feel like home. And we do that in 2 ways. And all of this was crafted based on my experience, but also after interviewing hundreds of relocated employees. We give you a proactive way to connect with the people that you know and should know even before you go, so that you can automatically make your new city feel like home. And you can see either a grid view or a map view. You can pinch out with the map. You can scroll in with the grid. You can type in the city that you're relocating to. So for me, I was in New York looking to move to London. I could sit on my couch in New York, type in London, and I could see all the relocated employees that Pivt has in London. Now, I can take that network and I can filter it down to find the people that I know and should know. So there's a filter tab up there, which filters it down to find people that went to my university, are from my workplace, similar industry, lived in a similar city to me, is also a trailing spouse. All with the idea of getting trusted information and making plans socially with the people that have something in commonality with you. So that's the first feature. The second feature we actually learned out of our consumer app. We had actually people meet in India and Asia, and they said, this is great, it's really useful, but actually feeling at home goes beyond my network. It's really doing the things, my passions and goals in my new city that really makes me feel like home. So we created the community messaging platform in which we connect you based on interests, goals, and commonalities. So everything from New York Knicks fans in London to moving with a family to London to trailing spouses in London. And within those communities, you can ask and give recommendations, create events or gatherings, and connect socially. So within these 2 platforms, really, our mission at Pivt is really to give relocated employees and family members who we give access to for free the ability to socially acclimate wherever they go, even beforehand, which we find is the most vulnerable time for the relocated employees. Hopefully what we can do is we can create a world where people can go to unfamiliar places and expand their outlooks without thinking twice, because they know that they'll settle and their families will settle.